Mm. Oh boy!
What? One more time, Mike.
I
Sorry.
can't. Don't.
What? Hold on. Yeah, go back. We need to see him even walk up to it because this is. I can imagine you took 0.4 seconds to
cry.
finish
Less,
the shot.
less than 1 second.
Watch where my head's facing. Like I just was looking at the tree like, well, I'm gonna hit the tree anyway. Oh my
I've never
God.
seen anyone throw a disc like that. You're inventing new ways to suck. That's incredible. So this week, we're going with the second video Jomez Productions ever produced. We did one video in 2012. We only did one video in 2013. And that was from the Texas State Disc Golf Championships in Maynard, Texas, out there near Austin. And I went ahead and decided let's get somebody in here to help us get through this round. Somebody that was on the card. So let's bring in Mr. Paul Ulibarri. What's up, Paul?
Ooh, yes.
What up, everybody?
How's it
Hey,
going?
buddy.
Where you at? Where you at these days?
Oh my gosh, I'm in Seattle, Washington, actually. Yep, ground zero.
How's I mean, everybody okay over there? I mean, what's the vibe like? Like you staying put, and how's it going?
Yeah, my family and I have just been, hanging around the house, getting stuff. I tell you what, with all of this going on, there's going to be so many people getting yard work done and house projects. I swear I get something done every day that I would have never done before. So there is that's definitely a good thing about all this stuff. Lots of family time, which is awesome.
That's awesome. It's important. I think that's something that we're honestly going to take away from when we get through this and, kind of get through the other side of it. It's going to be remembering like how much time we really did get to spend with family. And and then even the yard work thing, I can attest to that, man. I'm out there like mowing my lawn. Like sometimes I feel like I want to do it more than once a week, which is crazy because normally that's not me, but I'm like, I got to get out there. I got to go mow the lawn.
Plus,
go
ahead, Nate.
Oh, sorry. I'm feeling like it's been so long since I've just been like hanging out at home in the springtime, like just because of the job that we all have.
Absolutely.
Like it's cool just being like, look at these leaves coming out of the trees. Whoa! It's like it's just been forever since I've been like just hanging out.
Yeah.
Around my neck of the woods, like just for weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's one thing I'm appreciating about it. Obviously, family time number one, but also just kind of like soaking up those seasons.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I've been in quarantine for almost a year now. I had a little 2-month stretch where I got to play a couple tournaments, so I'm kind of used to it, chilling around the house, not being able to do much.
You got that knee virus, don't you?
I did. I got that ACL virus, man. It goes around. Careful.
Oh, gosh.
I can say here in West Texas, we only really ever get our most consistent rain in the spring. And so it's the same thing. Like when I'm home, I'm here for that. Usually I'm gone and I don't get to be here with the rain, which is so rare for us. So to be home and experiencing seasons, it's just crazy. Like I'm not mad about it at all. It's crazy like being able to enjoy that whenever I've personally been full time on the road now, for like 3 or 4 years. So
that's so interesting because when I obviously I was in Phoenix last year during the summer, and it was my first ever experience in my life of experiencing summer in Phoenix, which was absolutely miserable because I lived in the White Mountains for a long time. So our summers, it got pretty hot, but not that hot. Mm-hmm. And then I would go on tour, for 10 years after that. So I lived in Phoenix, but I was never there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, people actually do this? This is horrible.
Oh man. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Yuli. As I mentioned before, you were on the card of the final round of the 2013 Texas State Disc Golf Championships along with Paul McBeth, along with Ricky Wysocki and Nico Locastro. And at this time, Paul had only won one world championship. This was the spring of 2013. So This is going way back. We're going to have a lot of fun. And so, yeah, let's get into it.
And this is also going to be the first season of Prodigy, so you're going to see almost all these guys wearing Prodigy.
That is right, yep.
And Mike, can you go ahead and pause this real quick? I want to go ahead and give Follow Flight Mike a big shout out, because these graphics, everything that you see, everything that you hear with the music and the graphics, that was all stuff that Mike produced himself. So like all those blades of grass, all that stuff, he was just slaving away hours upon hours on making these holes. And I don't know when you guys have officially introduced the hole recreations, but when you guys did that, that was when I think all of us knew how serious you guys were as a production company.
Oh yeah.
Let's get into the video.
I was getting Mike into stuff just like okay, on that note real quick. Michael at this point had never even set foot on a disc golf course. He literally pulled up pictures of a disc catcher and was like, "Hey, I think I can make that in like my 3D program." And I'm like, "Oh, really? You can do that?" And it's just like, "Yeah." And then he puts all the blades of grass, and I'm like, "What is this? Like Lion King? Like, what is happening? This is amazing!" I couldn't believe it. So you're talking
every little blade of grass is like little Follow Flight here, little Follow Flight.
So yeah, we certainly are very appreciative of how I roped Mike in as early as I could, and like I said, he didn't have a clue really what disc golf was other than just like what I had showed him. So, anyways, it's awesome. He builds everything from the ground up. He takes it very seriously. So, even down to the dubstep tracks.
I thought that was Skrillex for a second, but that's original Mike stuff. Yep. Oh, 2013. We got bushy-haired Macbeth. Oh, I love this. And for some reason, we're doing the player introductions on the first hole in reverse order, which isn't something you do very often on the last card for the league group of the final round.
2013 was a different time.
Yeah, and this is actually a big dogleg right par 4. Uli with a short hair. This is pre-Top Knot days, folks. And this is in the Uli hop step era, I believe.
What part of Texas are we in right now?
This is like
just outside of Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. A little hop step turnover. And I think what I remember the most about this event, besides Nico looking like he just came out of a 70s disco club, is that this was the event that we got the first ever Prodigy mid-ranges, and we were all so pumped up about the M4s, and I think we were trying to throw those as much as possible. And like I said, 3 of the 4 members of the team here at Prodigy, obviously Ricky. I will just comment, the style has changed quite a bit in these last 7 years.
22 under.
He's got was it a 10 or 12 stroke
12 shot lead, I think?
Yeah, 12 shot lead going into the final round.
And this stretch of tournaments is when we called this whole Texas swing the right Ricky the Czech Open, because he could not lose in Texas.
No, it was a regular thing that he was up by 12, 10, 8. It was just like, we all knew.
Yeah. And look at this standstill power mash sidearm. We don't really see this side of Ricky's game anymore, but look at this thing coming in, almost goes in for the eagle from like 350 out standstill.
Wow.
Yeah, Macbeth rocking the diamonds in his ear. Yeah, those are different times, man. And look at this. This is looking good here.
Oh, wow.
Off the top, bam. Yuli's trying to come after those 12 strokes, man.
I was trying to do
one
work.
at a time. That's the only way, one at a time.
And that's just like clinical Nico turnover line with the forced Anheuser. Oh, boy. Oh, no. What happened there?
Oh, man.
Oh, this was a weird hole. There's a big mandatory, obviously, right off the tee box. But then we basically go through like the Sherwood forest for the rest of the. Oh boy!
Oh my gosh!
What happened?
This is where I get started, though. I bring it. I start reeling it in. I feel like.
Nico's about to turn in the hottest disco song of all time. That's funny. Matthew Shrunk. Oh, no. Yeah, see, here's Sherwood Forest. And Paul's, that's a great drive. That is so far up there.
Just a perfect up shot, yeah.
Oh, it's so hard to do that. And that's a good approach.
What happened on that drive, though? I mean...
Yeah. Talk us through that.
So, it was a long time ago. I don't really remember.
Oh no!
But I remember after the ace and I missed that, I remember being like, when you just don't have control of the putter, and then all of a sudden you miss a short one, and you're like, uh-oh, it's here. And then it was just like,
oh no!
Oh, the wheel came off, and then I was just, you know what? I was just trying my best. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
you can always count on that from Uli.
Oh, this is a pretty shot from Nico. This is a little technical 300 footer or so, maybe like a little bit less, maybe like 260, 270. Look how young Ricky looks. Oh my God, I can't get over it. And Yuli, you're playing the hole a little different than everyone else because
I decided to go right down the creek line, like to give it 100% chance to try to go. Oh, but look at that!
Wait a minute.
I
feel like
awesome.
There's no time when I'm more dangerous from 60 feet when I'm in a 14-shot hole and I just missed a couple 20-footers.
Rick, real quick, I just want to
That's
pause.
tough in 8 time.
Look at these graphics, folks. I just want to point out how cutting edge JomezPro's graphics used to be. Just real quick, take a 5-second shot of the leaderboard and then just put after 7.
You went so far as after 7, so we know how many holes have been played.
Yeah.
I also want to point out, look at the scores, because this is going to get pretty funny in about 4 more of these bad boys.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna
like I'm in it. I could get into second or something.
Ricky, it's just crazy to me how much he uses forehand because we just don't see that version of him anymore. What? Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh. Well, it's a good thing Jonathan wasn't as good of a filmographer as he is now, because he could have caught the disc in this shot the whole time, and it would have been even more embarrassing, maybe.
Oh boy.
Jonathan, did you go to school for filmography or?
You know what? That's part of the germology.
Oh yeah. That's another one of the hard sciences. That is nice.
That's an annoying putt. Rick's done a forehand on almost every hole here. Like, this is why he got his name like etched into the top 5 sidearm list, that only 5 people can make it in, and Yuli's right there on the door knocking, like, please let me in. But then he throws shots like we just saw there, and it makes it easier for us to
the top 5 sidearm list.
Well,
that was just make fun of me for it. But look, at this point, I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? There comes a point in your round where when you think sidearm rollers to play off the tee pad, things have just gone bad.
My laptop feeling is soaking wet right now. I literally just did a spit take, and I had no idea that face you made.
Oh no!
Hold on. We skipped past this. I know that you slowed it down, Mike. Can we go back just like 30 seconds? Can we see Paul's face after this flick roller hits the ground? The look of disgust in your eyes.
It was back-to-back flick rollers. It wasn't just one.
We need to go back a little further. Hold on.
I threw the tee shot so bad that
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can hit that. I feel for you here. This is bad. We've all been there before, though.
Did you know that Jason was making us watch this, Paul, or is this a surprise?
This is
nice putt.
I had when he told me the video, and I knew that I'd never played good in Texas on camera, so there's plenty more of these where this came from. If you just go to the next year, I think I make lead card and I blow up. Like, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
God, this afro is so impressive. I can't get over it.
Wow, nice shot too.
Yeah, that is a tiny window. See how hard it was for Macbeth to hit it?
Yes.
Just throws it perfect. I'm sure this is. Yeah.
Oh boy!
What? One more time, Mike. I'm sorry.
Can't. Don't.
What? Hold on. Yeah, go back. We need to see him even walk up to it, because this is. I can imagine you took 0.4 seconds to throw the shot.
Less than 1 second.
Watch where my head's facing. Like, I just was looking at the tree like, well, I'm going to hit the tree anyway. Oh my
I've never
God.
seen anyone throw a disc like that. You're inventing new ways to suck. That's incredible.
Oh gosh, I'm crying.
Rick still hasn't missed a putt since 2012 Worlds when he made that first putt on the first hole of the final 9.
These are literally shots that I've suppressed in my memories that you guys are bringing back. I completely forgot.
You were such a good sport for it, though. This is good
gosh.
stuff. And you had a funny nickname for your forehand. What was it called again?
What are you talking about? Oh, percentages. My sidearm's nickname is percentages.
It has been for a long time.
I just wondered how much of a hit the percentages took as you're 22 strokes trailing with 3 holes to go.
I could make a comeback. You never know that. Texas has some pretty bad rough. Believe
Yeah,
me.
man.
Oh,
This is
I'm in
the-
it. Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure this is like one of the rattlesnake holes where. Oh, this is it right here.
Oh.
So the bottom of
That's
this
huge.
hill on the left, there was a big rattlesnake pit that there was 15 rattlesnakes in at one point, I think.
And now my disc is in it. It's like this whole video, you can't see me. I'm just kneeling down in the woods, chucking a sidearm out.
Yeah, all you really know is if it's looking at the woods and a disc comes out, that was Yuli's shot.
Yep.
Oh man! Oh yeah, they had the American flags. I think they were duct taped to the disc golf baskets. That was their golf flag sticks. So that was cool.
And they all blew away.
That was almost a hole in one, dude. That was close. This is getting obnoxious though. Ricky
Wow.
doing that. He doesn't do that putt anymore, but he used to do the
Oh,
step up.
rewind that. I want to show you guys something. Ricky
That was
was
maybe a
so
Jomez.
good at putting that I literally tried, I think, to putt like him right there. I'm so in
you
my
did-
own
Yeah, you
head.
totally did.
Like,
Like,
look
I
at
wanna
this.
do that.
I'm like, he did
It's
it.
not even your
I
putt.
know. Oh
And
my
you pretty
gosh.
much made it.
I
I'm
will
like,
say
whoa.
though, Ricky was such a good putter at this. I mean, he still is, but when he started doing that putt, no one else had ever done that lean out putt that I had seen, and I started doing that putt in the middle of this season and adapted it to my game for the next couple of
I
years.
remember that.
So this is the final hole.
Yeah.
I don't know how many star frames Yuli's ruined at this point, but good thing we're not
All of
donating
them.
to charity at this point, because there's a lot of kids that would have been real disappointed in you.
Well, here's an opportunity to get those percentages back up because you got forehand off the tee.
Okay, I'm back to my own style. I said, okay, Ricky's doesn't work either. Oh, man.
I don't think you have to worry about the star frame being ruined here, though, because I think something funny happens here. I think I remember.
Yeah, how funny is that? Ricky messed up. Ha, 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 ha.
His first missed putt since that 2012 Worlds video.
Well, that
Only
was
10
outside the
strokes to play with.
Yeah.
Look at
There's
that
the
gallery
jam.
though back there. That was pretty sweet. Everyone under
these
the
were-
pavilion.
Yeah. That pavilion, I remember getting yelled at by one of the chefs because Nico threw my little floppy
Oh, there's
frisbee
Germ.
thing that he was sponsored. Remember the frisbee company? I can't remember the name of them, but Nico threw it into the pot of beans, and the guy literally dropped it into a
Pocket
fire.
disc. It was pocket disc. Those little
Yes,
crochet discs.
Yeah.
Do you remember
pretty
that?
Hold on,
Fair.
freeze frame it
Yeah.
right here. Let's see Germ. Look at that
Yeah,
tall,
boy.
skinny boy.
Hey, oh
Ooh.
yeah. That was like one of the first tournaments I ever tucked my shirt in. Shout out to Grip 6 Belt Company. That was
Not
about
not
4 years
invented
before they
again.
came around.
And shoestring
are those
with the-
shorts?
In the background right there.
Are those shorts Quicksilver or what are those?
Thank you very much. They were the very first pair of Nike golf shorts I ever owned. That's how golf shorts used to look. So
Oh, okay.
that was high fashion for 2013, folks.
Nice.
Oh man.
The whole
There's
Prodigy
Paige.
gang. Look at that. Everybody was Prodigy. Paige, Katrina. Well, she still is. Ricky, Cameron Colglazer. That was fun times.
Well, Yuli, I'm sorry you had to relive
Wow,
that entire
man.
thing.
You know what, though? A lot of good things came from that video, if we're being honest. It made me switch to the Ricky putt for a hole, so I tried that out in mid-round. See if that could work. No, but for real, after this tournament this year, I actually switched my entire form because of this tournament. to where I quit hopping completely. I switched to the X step. Like, this was a really, really bad experience in my life. So
I remember
reliving it.
something. Tell me if I'm wrong. I remember showing up to this event, and right after we got those new mid-ranges that were just released that tournament, you showed me your new car, and then something happened. Am I wrong?
Oh gosh,
you're not wrong. So after that round, I walked over to my car, and something I might have lost. I played that whole round. I didn't bring the group down. I was a good sport, and I walked over, and then my car got it.
A brand new car.
Brand new. I had just bought it. It had probably. It was my. I think it was.
Oh my gosh.
It was our first.
We got a picture of it.
Your car.
You took that picture today, right?
I did, yeah. It's still there. It reminds me every day of that Texas State Championships.
Dude, what did your fist look like?
I think it was fine. The thing is I hit it in a spot that it just like sunk in, and I didn't hit it that hard. And I'm like, oh, of course, yeah, like it leaves the biggest dent ever. You know? I'm like, yeah.
I mean, it's your throwing hand, right?
I think it was, yeah.
So you pulled an Eagle McMahon like way before Eagle McMahon did it himself, right?
Barry Schultz.
Well,
did
if you don't get injured, it doesn't count.
But yeah, my fist actually it bends still, so you gotta watch out. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Yeah, well, I guess of all the rounds to just go ahead and take it out in your car, that's probably the end.
But that's what I'm saying. It was like a little tiny punch, I feel like, and then it was just one of those days where just like everything went wrong. I'm like, oh yeah, of course it did. It just leaves the biggest dent ever on my brand new car.
Wow.
I got a question. Have you ever, out of frustration, punched anything with your offhand? Like, has anyone ever done that? Like, I've tried to let some steam out with my left hand because who cares? And I feel worse. It actually makes me more mad. So I don't know if you're the same way, but it does the exact opposite thing for me.
Yeah,
it's true. Like one of those things that I feel like everybody kind of goes through is punching a little something at some point in your career, and then you just have to kind of learn that that's not something you do.
Yeah.
Well, Yuli, man. You didn't deserve what just happened to you, but I appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, you know what? It's nice to relive those experiences and see, come a long way. Here's the thing. I looked up the round. It was a 990 rated round. That's what a 990 rated round looks like for me. So if that's as bad as it could possibly get, like if I just clean that up a little bit, I'm looking at 1030 right in the eyeball. Yeah,
man.
I think we should take just 1 second real quick to appreciate that Jonathan cut down a video that he already cut down, and then he somehow managed to leave in all of these not quite highlights in there for you. So I just want to say good job, Jonathan. Well done there.
He did have my ace run in there. He had the ace run.
And that's what I remember. Yeah. So I was going back in the vault. I knew that 2013 was going to be the next video after 2012, and that all I could really remember was that you had almost would have been my first ace caught on camera. But what I didn't remember is how the round went. Literally from the very next shot, like how rough that was for you. And
I remember. I swear I remember it like it was yesterday. I walked up to that putt and it was on the hillside, and I told myself, "Hey, you need a straddle." And this is like the first time that really cameras were at these types of tournaments, and there's a big gallery and everything. It might have been like the second or third, fourth tournament of the year, something like that.
Pretty early.
And I remember walking up to it and being like, you should straddle this. And I'm like, it's 8 feet. I'm not going to straddle this. And I just completely whiff it. And then after that, I was just gone.
In your own
just
head.
Absolutely gone.
Well,
but it's crazy how you can remember shots from that far back and just even remember like exactly what you were thinking.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on and letting us have a laugh at your expense. You're the first ever guest on SHOWMEZ, so we will never forget that. Hopefully we can have you on under better circumstances in the future. But thank you so much for coming on.
There is a Texas States where I got Jomez and myself on ESPN. So Maybe we could relive some of the good stuff.
You know,
chances aren't that great.
Yeah, remember earlier, early in the broadcast, we told people that we specifically wanted the worst of the worst when it comes to the ideas that are coming to us. So I think that it's probably along those same lines. We're gonna be looking for stuff like that. You did say that I could look forward to 2014 and probably find you on a card and maybe have something similar to what we just saw.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, Texas has not been good to me over the years. But you know what, guys? Thank you for having me on. I had a blast reliving those types of moments, and Nate, and I just love the show, everything. Obviously, I was just looking at the chat. Everybody's loving it as well, and just appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be your first guest, and hopefully, soon I can be on the show again.
All right.
Come on back.
Appreciate it. All right. Take care.
All right. Love it. Love you guys. Later.